Therefore, Ananda,
At
rely
Jetavarna,
on the
as the sun
Dharma,
sank in crimson light,
not
the
on
Buddha
me.
sat beneath ancient trees. His voice was steady, his gaze timeless. Do not rely on me, rely on the Dharma. It was a truth that pierced the still air. Among those listening was Ananda. His eyes glistened with tears, his heart torn between devotion and sorrow. For the first time, he felt the shadow of impermanence fall upon his beloved teacher.
What is happening in Vaisali?
The plague has come upon us. People are dying. We need help.
Far away in Vesely, the streets swelled with voices, rumors spread like wildfire, and doubts rippled through the crowd. The Dharma's light shone bright, but shadows gathered at the edges.
No.
In the marketplace, Ananda stood calm amidst the storm, while whispers of suspicion rose. His silent presence was a pillar. The crowd grew restless, but his stillness spoke louder than their noise. Within the Sangha hall, monks gathered in tense debate. The Buddha remained
We
unmoved,
must
serene
find a
as mountain,
solution to
while
this
disagreements
disagreement.
flickered like sparks in dry grass. The Dharma was strong, yet unity trembled. As disputes grew louder, Ananda's anxious eyes turned to the teacher, but the Buddha sat in silence, radiating calm against the storm of words. Stillness itself was the answer. Night fell, and moonlight washed the temple courtyard. The Sangha chanted in unison, their voices rising like waves of devotion. Beside them, Ananda and the Buddha glowed beneath silver light.
Om Mani Padme Hum. Om Mani
At the temple gate, villagers gathered, listening in reverence. The harmony of the monks spread outward, calming the hearts of the people. From doubt, trust began to bloom again. Under the vast night sky, the Sangha sat united, their chants sweeping through the wind. Clouds had gathered, yet faith held firm. In the calm of Ananda's eyes and the stillness of the Buddha, the future of the Dharma remained unshaken. Within the radiant halls of Rajagaha, the king sits upon a golden throne. Power surrounds him, yet his heart is restless. Behind his sharp gaze stirs a storm of doubt.
Are we truly prepared for this conflict?
We must consider all options.
Our resources are limited.
In the council
Is a
chamber,
grave
voices rise like clashing waves.
We
One
must
minister warns
consider
with suspicion,
all perspectives.
another speaks with calm devotion. The hall trembles with uncertainty.
My lord, this cannot stand. We must take action now.
Patience, brother. We must
A Jatishatru
consider
listens
all
in silence.
paths.
Two voices echo.
Your
Yet the
Majesty,
true battle is within his
this
heart.
path
Between
leads
fear
to
of losing
ruin.
power and trust in
My
timeless
king,
truth.
consider the wisdom of compassion. There is trouble.
Beyond the palace walls, the marketplace stirs with
What do you
unease.
think is
Rumors
going
scatter
on?
like sparks in the wind, and the voices of the people rise in anxious tones. By torchlight, the king speaks. His voice is steady but heavy, a demand for answers, a search for certainty. Silence falls, for even power seeks reassurance.
Speak truly, Minister. Can I trust the loyalty of my people? Your Majesty, their hearts are with you.
Night descends. Alone in a corridor, the king walks beneath silver beams. Each step echoes his burden. Each shadow deepens his doubt. He pauses by the window, gazing beyond his kingdom. In the stillness of night, the image of the Buddha rises in his mind, shining like the full moon in a clouded sky. In chambers lit by oil lamps, maps of war are spread across the table. Advisors whisper of rebellion, yet the true unrest lies not at the borders but within the king's soul.
Your Majesty, the border unrest has escalated dramatically. The skirmishes grow
At
bolder
midnight, he
each
stands
day.
by a stone statue, hand pressed against its cold surface. The wind howls through the halls. In that moment, a Jatashatri knows. The throne is strong, but the truth is stronger. At the gates of Kapilavastu, the people gather beneath fluttering flags. The Buddha returns, not as a prince draped in jewels, but as a humble monk clothed in saffron. From the gate to the crowded streets, the Sangha advances. Footsteps echo, and the city holds its breath. Along the streets, citizens bow with hands clasped. Their eyes glisten, for they see not a lust prince, but a radiant teacher whose presence stills the heart. The voices of the people fade, and silence deepens within the palace hall, where father and son will meet. King Satvardhana sits upon his throne, torn between pride and sorrow. His question rises like thunder. Why forsake a crown for this path? The Buddha answers with calm light. A throne rules the world, but this path ends suffering at its root. From the throne to the inner chambers, the weight of words gives way to a mother's tears. Queen Gautami gazes at her son. In her eyes, he is both child and saint, both flesh and flame. Her tears fall, mingling love with awe. From the chamber back to the hall,
path to
words of
true
wisdom rise
enlightenment
like a
lies
bell
within,
through the ages.
found through compassion and wisdom.
The Buddha speaks, and his voice is steady as a mountain
The path
stream.
to
Ministers
true
go in
freedom
silence, for
is
his words
found
cut
in
deeper than any
stillness
sword
and
pierce.
compassion.
The torch is dim. Morning breaks over the palace courtyard, where destiny waits in the form of a child. Rahula runs to his father, innocence shining in his eyes. His voice trembles with courage. Let me follow.
Father,
The Sangha halts,
I want
and
to
the world
follow
stands
you.
still. From the crowd of monks to the tender bond of father and
Rahula.
son, silence carries the weight.
Do
of
you
history.
desire to know the truth of the universe?
The Buddha bends down, placing his hand on Rahula's head. Compassion flows like sunlight, steady and unshaken. In that moment, love and truth become one. From the intimate moment to the streets of the city, the flame of devotion spreads among the people. Rahula walks beside his father, small feet steady, spirit bright. Citizens bow deeply, their hearts lifted by the sight of wisdom joined with innocence. The streets fade into sunset skies. The Sangha walks on, framed by walls of gold and crimson light. The city glows in the light of dusk. A prince has returned as a teacher, and the bond between royal power and Dharma is sealed. From this moment, the path of wisdom shines beyond bloodlines and crowns. In the golden halls of Capella Vastu, where princes laugh beneath jeweled lamps, a shadow lingers unseen. It is a parley, the humble barber, hands skilled with blades, but a heart yearning for freedom. Among crowns and silks, he is but dust, yet destiny waits for him. When word of the Buddha's path reached the palace, the princes resolved to forsake their
now,
crowns. Before leaving,
You are the one
they
I
handed their
trust
robes to Apale,
to guide our
bidding him
people.
go first. What began as a ruse soon became a turning point of history. Apale trembled as he donned royal garments, his tears falling like rain upon ancient soil. Every step toward the forest was a strike against the iron chains of caste. For the first time, the servant walked before the princes. Beneath the trees of Kozara, the forest bore witness. The princes followed, their eyes aflame with conviction. But leading the way was no noble there, it was Apale, the barber, carrying the burden of destiny with every trembling step. In a sunlit clearing, Apale halted, his back straightened, his gaze no longer of a servant, but of a man ready to meet truth. The princes paused behind him, stunned by the courage in his silence. At last, beneath the shade of an ancient tree, sat the teacher Ka, radiant, unmoved. Apale fell to his knees, robes still heavy on his shoulders, heart beating like thunder. His words unspoken but clear. Let me walk this path. The Buddha's eyes met his, not with judgment, but with boundless compassion. And there, before princes and servants alike, Apale received the saffron robe. A barber became a monk, a shadow became light. Moments later, the unthinkable unfolded. The royal princes, once his masters, knelt beside him, their foreheads pressed to the earth, equal in dust, equal in Dharma. The chains of pride shattered in silence. From that day, Apale was no longer the palace barber. He was entrusted as the Sangha's first keeper of discipline, the guardian of its sacred law. With patience like a gardener pruning his trees, he would tend the forest of Dharma, ensuring it would remain pure for generations. At the gate of Rojagoha, where stone towers cast long shadows, a child was abandoned to fate. Yet in those fragile eyes, destiny had already sown the seed of greatness. Years passed, the orphan became a healer, his hands weaving life back into broken bodies. Rich and poor alike sought the touch of Hivaka, the golden hand of Rojagoha. But even as his fame spread, his heart was filled
Is
with
there a
deep question.
cure for
Is
suffering?
there a cure for the suffering of the soul? Far away, another flame stirred, and at the Pindika, the merchant of boundless compassion set forth on the dusty road, seeking not wealth, but the voice of truth.
ruin.
In the stillness of the forest, the Buddha's
This
words
is
fell
the
like rain
path of
upon parched earth.
liberation.
Anathapindika wept, for he knew this was the path the world had long awaited. With devotion as vast as the sky, he laid his gold upon the earth, buying land not for power, but for a sanctuary of Dharma. Thus was born Jetavana, the immortal monastery. And Hivaka, with his healing art, pledged his life to the Sangha. His hands, once trembling in childhood, now became the shield of health for the disciples of the Awakened One. Side by side, wealth and wisdom, healing and giving, stood united, Anathapindika and Hivaka, to pillars carrying the Sangha into the heart of society. As the sun set over Jetavana, the Sangha found its home, the people found hope, and history found its guardians, for compassion and service had carved their names into eternity. Upon the mighty walls of Savatthi, life bustled with power and prosperity. Yet within the king's heart, as silence lingered, how could he shield his people from the shadows of greed and wrath? In the jeweled hall, the Buddha's words rang like thunder and flowed like a river of light. Before the Dharma, the golden throne seemed small, and the weight of power fragile. For the first time, the ruler who commanded thousands bowed not to force, but to wisdom. In that moment, the strength of crowns gave way to the strength of truth. On the streets of Savatthi, the Sangha walked barefoot in silence. The people bent low, their humble offerings filling bowls with both food and faith. Then
Your
came
wealth
Visakha,
and
radiant in
status
wisdom.
bring
Her
you
words
joy,
cut like a blade and healed
but
like
true
gentle rain.
happiness
In her,
comes
compassion
from
and
within.
clarity became one voice for the people. Beneath the trees of Jetavana, the Buddha taught the Dharma, unshaken and serene. Around him, lay people and nobles alike drank in the truth, their hearts united. Side by side, king and laywoman stood, one guarding order, the other offering compassion. Together, they wove strength and mercy into a single fabric of faith. As the sun descended, the Sangha gathered in peace. In that golden light, the union of crown, community, and Dharma shone brighter than any jewel. By night, Savatthi glowed with quiet reverence. The city of kings had become the city of Dharma, its walls strong, its people stronger still, carried by wisdom and compassion into eternity. In the shadowed depths of Chrysalis Forest, terror bore the name Angulimala. The howl of the wind and the pounding of fleeing footsteps wove together a symphony of fear.
Help! Please! Help us! Someone, help us!
A blade flashed in the hands of the killer. Villagers scattered in panic, while Angulimala stormed through the wilderness like a crimson tempest. Yet amidst the chaos, a light of compassion arose. The Buddha, walking with serene composure, carried a stillness that hushed the entire forest.
Stop, monk!
Angulimala roared like a beast in the hunt. He ran with fury, yet no matter how fast, he could not overtake the calm, steady stride of the enlightened one.
I stopped long ago. When will I stop?
A voice broke the silence between shadow and light. The Buddha spoke. I have long since stopped. His words thundered like the heavens, striking the very heart of the lost forest. In a moment of destiny, the bloodstained sword fell to the ground. The trembling hand released its violence, replaced by tears of remorse. Angulimala sank to his knees, begging for a new path. And then, the man of terror donned the robe of peace. Angulimala was reborn, his once fierce gaze now calm and clear, like a lake restored after the storm. Within the Jetavana monastery, the footsteps of Angulimala echoed alongside the Sangha. It was a living testament. Cruelty had yielded to compassion. Darkness had become light. As the sun set over Jetavana, Angulimala sat in stillness at the side of the Buddha. From the sword to compassion, this was no mere tale of one man, but an eternal epic of transformation. The streets of Kuzala trembled beneath the shadow of plague. Cries echoed through shuttered homes. Despair weighed upon every soul. Yet amid the chaos walked Ananda Path steadfast. His presence a fire flame like the fear through the storm. In the dim light of a withered oil lamp, sickness consumed the helpless, but Ananda bent low, his gentle hands offering food, his eyes pouring compassion. In that humble room, suffering met kindness, and despair touched the edge of hope. Whispers of scandal spread like fire across the square. Suspicion clouded every gaze. Yet Ananda stood unshaken.
Truth
With a voice calm as still waters,
will
he
dispel
declared,
darkness.
Truth will dispel darkness. His words carried weight beyond rumor, silencing doubt with serenity. On the dirt road where the lowly swept unseen, Sunita carried the burden of shame, but Ananda's touch upon his shoulder lifted more than dust lifted the chains of past. In that moment, a soul once hidden rose into the light of dignity. A On the dirt road where the lowly swept unseen, Sunita carried the burden of shame, but Ananda's touch upon his shoulder lifted more than dust, it lifted the chains of past. In that moment, a soul once hidden rose into the light of dignity.